Viewers, what a surprise. The illustrious Gandhi family, guardians of India's political decorum, have once again graced us with their pearls of wisdom. Sonia Gandhi, in her infinite compassion and civility, has deemed President Murmu a poor lady. How magnanimous! One can almost hear the clink of the teacups or wine glasses, if you like, in the drawing rooms of the Lutyens' Delhi as they nod in agreement. Yes, quite the poor thing, isn't she? And then, viewers, there's Rahul Gandhi, the heir to the throne of the benevolence, who found the president's speech to be boring. Yes, boring. In a land where entertainment is measured by the eloquence of the Gandhi lineage, how could one dare to be so mundane? But let's not forget, viewers, the real yawn here is in the president's speech. It's the centuries-old script of dynastic arrogance that the Gandhi family seems to read from. It's as if they've confused the parliament with a family reunion where only their words carry the weight of history, culture, and of course, entertainment value. So here's to the Gandhi Parivar, viewers, for whom every word from anyone outside their circle is but a dull hum in the background of their self-important narrative. Here's hoping one day they will find the world outside their bubble as fascinating as they find themselves. Viewers, the sarcasm so far was only to add interest because, who knows, the Congress would go after me and say, poor guy, another boring commentary from Pranesh. Viewers, the comments by Sonia and Rahul Gandhi today are not the language of a leader. It's the patronizing tone of dynasts who see the world from the pedestal of entitlement. Viewers, Rahul Gandhi's dismissal of the president's speech as boring is proof of the hubris that has become synonymous with him and his party. With this single word, he betrays a lack of respect not only for the office of the president, but for millions who see in Droupadi Murmu a symbol of their own aspirations and struggles. His remark exposes a mindset where every voice outside the Gandhi circle is merely background noise, viewers, unworthy of serious attention. Viewers, what's truly boring is not a speech by the President of India, but the repetitive and predictable arrogance of the Gandhi family. This dynasty, which thinks of itself as the permanent rulers of India, seems incapable of recognizing merit beyond their own shadow. Their comments today reflect a worldview where power is an inheritance, not a responsibility, where leadership is about maintaining privilege rather than serving the nation. The hubris of the Gandhi Parivar is not just boring, it's dangerous. Viewers, it's an attitude that stifles democracy, that diminishes the value of every Indian who doesn't fit into their narrow vision of leadership. It's a mindset, viewers, that has time and again led to political missteps, electoral debacles, and a failure to understand the pulse of the nation they claim to represent.
Usual false promises.
Boring. No comment.
No, the poor lady, the president was getting very tired by the end.
Repeating the same thing again and again.
No, she could hardly speak, poor thing.
एक कांग्रेस वाले खुद को देश का मालिक समझते हैं। कांग्रेस के शाही परिवार का अहंकार आज देश ने फिर देखा है। उन्होंने राष्ट्रपति जी को पुअर थिंग कहा, गरीब कहा और चीज कहा, थकी हुई कहा। एक आदिवासी बेटी का बोलना इनको बोरिंग लगता है। ये देश के 10 करोड़ आदिवासी भाई बहनों का अपमान है। ये देश के हर गरीब का अपमान है।
My mother is a 78-year-old lady. She simply said that the president must have been tired reading such a long speech. Poor thing. I don't think she fully respects. In fact, she has the utmost respect for. जिस खाई में इन्होंने इस देश को डुबोया है, पहले उसके लिए माफी मांगे।
मैं देखिए, उन बेचारी का तो कोई दोस्त नहीं, राष्ट्रपति हैं, वो तो स्टाम्प है और किसी का लव लेटर पढ़ना है उनको।
It is really funny Whatever, there is no. You just compare the 2024 speech and 2025 speech, or are equal. I am really frustrated with this speech.
Let's open this up. Radhika Kheda, national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, will be joining us. Professor Jyotsna Tirunagari, national spokesperson of the TDP. Karan Verma, political analyst. Professor Monojit Mondal, Ravi Srivastava, both political analysts. Dr. Sumansi Raman completes the panel. Ravi Srivastav, let me begin by asking you, what do you make of what Sonia Gandhi said about the president? Forget everything. लोग कुछ भी बोले, आप कैसे देखते हैं जो सोनिया गांधी जी ने कहा उनके बारे में? Poor thing, आवाज ही नहीं जा रही उनको. Dr. Raman, if you can hear me, sir, would you like to tell us what you make of the remarks?
I think it is a expression of sympathy for a person who has had to read a 59-minute speech and nothing more, nothing less. When she said she was appearing to be tired, now of course I saw that there has been a clarification from the President's office that she was not tired, which is fine. Mrs. Gandhi's opinion, and Mrs. Gandhi is 78 years old, as Priyanka pointed out, she has expressed sympathy, and I'm okay. But basically, the reason why we are debating this is because we don't want to debate the economic survey. We don't want to debate the Kumbh stampede. We want to divert attention to something as ridiculous as this. This was, I mean, anybody Google it yourself. What does
Dr. Raman,
mean?
you know, you can Google 1 minute, sir.
Expression
no, how
of
much? No, how
and
much and how many
empathy.
things will you Google? Even if Rahul Gandhi Googles 1 minute, sir. If Rahul Gandhi were to Google wisdom,
you Google, look it up.
No, he will still not get it because he just can't. He just can't, you know, seem to understand the pulse of the people. You are saying the reason we are having this debate is because, look, we don't want to discuss Kumbh. That's not true. We discussed Kumbh. We asked all the right questions. You were not watching, Dr. Raman. It's okay. I'm not faulting you. I'm telling you the reason why we are having this debate is because this is not about just one comment. It's about this mindset. Ravi Srivastav, if you can hear me, sir, पहला सवाल मैंने आपसे पूछा था कि अगर कोई बोले poor thing, poor lady, तो उसका क्या मतलब है?
Absolutely, you are twisting the matter, twisting the words. If you are translating every English word to Hindi and you want to make something out of it, I think this is not the way. You know, poor thing. You call me every alternate day a poor fellow. Do I become a poor by your saying? It is English, it is common thing. It is she has been shown utmost respect for the Honorable President. She has said she is tired. She is tired and she is looking tired. This is what she has said. With the utmost respect. Where the poor thing comes from? What is this literal translation you are doing and trying to create a narrative that they insulted the Honorable President, and the President office release clearly does not mention anything from Madam Sonia Gandhi. It says some leaders said it. So what is this? He has not felt offended. Many leaders said many things. Our Pappu Yadav made a comment over there. Rahul Gandhi made a comment over there. Kalyan Banerjee made a comment over there. So what does it mean? I mean, you are just trying to pinpoint on Madam Sonia Gandhi and making a narrative here.
Yeah, poor thing, Sonia Gandhi, poor thing, poor lady.
Absolutely.
Deserves respite. Yeah, why are we going after Sonia Gandhi? Poor thing, such a poor thing. You know, how can we all be so cruel? We are asking, you know, tough questions of Sonia Gandhi, of Rahul Gandhi, and one Pappu Yadav that you mentioned, who, by the way, has said bichara or bichari. The President of India, according to Pappu Yadav, is bichari. Radhika Kheda, what's the harm if these words have been spoken? It's okay.
I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
The arrogance and the colonial mindset of the Gandhi family once again stands exposed. Sonia Gandhi ji, who was not born in India, a foreigner, a white woman who was embraced by India as their bahu, as their member of parliament, even to the point that they were willing to accept her as the prime minister of the country, today is mocking India's daughter, the first tribal woman president of the country, by calling her a poor thing. India accepted her with open arms, but she has still till date not accepted India's daughter. And you know, the worst part is that the Congress party has been using Dalits, has been using tribals as a tool for their, vote bank politics. But every time the time has come to stand up for them, they have ensured that they remain backward. The entire problem stands with the fact that a woman, a tribal woman, is the president of the India, and not a president is not a rubber stamp of the Congress party. They are used to undermining every constitutional post. If you remember, Rahul Gandhi, when the vice president was being mocked outside parliament, right at the gate of the parliament, when they were mocking our vice president Dhankar Sahab, Rahul Gandhi was busy filming it and, laughing and having a jolly good time.
No, why are you blaming Rahul Gandhi? Poor thing. Mr. Dhankar should have just laughed it off, brushed it aside. What was Rahul Gandhi's fault? He was only checking the camera of his new phone.
Pranesh, although we should only focus the thing on the blatant racism and deep-seated belief that power only belongs to the Gandhi family of Sonia Gandhi, we cannot, overlook Rahul Gandhi's boring remark. He is the leader of opposition who was missing on 26 January from India Gate. Not one leader of the Congress party was there.
You see, Rahul Gandhi would obviously find the president's speech boring because Rahul is used to, tearing ordinances, you see. So anyone reading anything politely, civility is not his thing. Dr. Aman?
Right. Okay. Now, I think she's still trying to say something, but the point is, let's be very clear, Pranesh, and I think it's okay to admit it because the whole country knows what is going on. And the topic, everybody saw Mrs. Gandhi's statement. I don't think anybody in their right senses would misunderstand what she said. All that she said was, poor lady, she was tired because it was a long speech. I mean, if you can find fault with that, I have nothing to say. I mean, it's just bizarre, but we know why you're doing this. I mean, the country knows why this is going on. This is purely to divert attention. That's all. So that's fine. Please say it. Translate every word from English to Hindi. Do a literal translation of what anybody does, and then continue to say that they have insulted. With Mr. Dhankar, it was like they have insulted all the farmers because apparently he was a farmer at one point of time. Then they have insulted all the lawyers because he was a lawyer. Now they have insulted all the tribals. I mean, guys, how long this is going to go on?
Yeah, how long?
People
poor
in this country are watching.
Poor thing, Dr. Aman, I can understand. How dare we question the Gandhis? They are entitled to perennial power in this country. It's God sent. It's God sent. God has said that, look, Gandhis will rule this land, come what may. Professor Jyotsna, why are we making a big deal out of this?
It is a big deal, I'm sorry to say. It is a big deal because she is the first citizen of the country and a person and a party which holds the Constitution in its hand. And हमें हमेशा वहां खड़े होके ये लोग भाषण देते हैं ना Constitution के बारे में, संविधान के बारे में, and they do not have the respect for Constitution. I'll tell you why. Because they had a problem when Honorable and Her Excellency Droupadi Murmu ji contested. They had a problem then. They opposed her election. They demeaned her capabilities, and now they are continuously mocking her. I have only one question here. Does Congress approve the remarks made by Pappu Yadav? Does Congress approve that? That's my question. First question. Second question is, does Congress also approve the remarks of Kalyan Banerjee? And also, does Congress approve the remarks of Sonia Gandhi ji? I'll tell you, just calling her a poor thing because, my mother is a 78-year-old lady. Come on, if she is a 78-year-old lady, she should have the minimum common sense to what to speak, what not to speak. First thing, I'll be very harsh and rude when I say this because it's a feudal mindset. Nothing more, nothing less. It's a feudal mindset, absolutely. Disrespecting the office of the president, disrespecting the president is a feudal mindset. They cannot digest the fact that a tribal woman is up there in the highest position in the country. They cannot digest the fact. because these are the people who do, politics in the name of caste. These are the people who actually talk about caste when it comes to beauty pageants, who actually talk about caste when it comes to, presenting the budget, all these things. But when you talk about Dalit welfare, when you talk about BC welfare, when you talk about even gender equality, for example, if you talk about women welfare, we from India has done it. For the past 10 years we have done it, and now again we are doing it. So we have given a very clear
Professor
picture out there.
I'm sorry to say the question, the three questions you want the Congress to answer. You said, would they approve of this? Pappu Yadav, etc., etc. They would approve of everything because they have Sam Pitroda in their ranks. Have you forgotten what he said? People from Northeast India are like Chinese. Dr. Raman would say, it's okay, poor guy, does not even stay in that country. Why are you going after him, Pranesh? Why? You are diverting from the real issue. Manojit Mondal?
Yes.
Sir, what do you think?
Yes.
ये diversion है या?
Admitting that you are really... No, I think it's a good diversion when the Prime Minister of this country, who could not control the deaths in, Kumbh Mela, it's because of the failure of the Yogi administration, because the police were largely handling the VVIPs. They had to have this kind of outlet. And fortunately or unfortunately, I think Congress party has given them this leeway. As simple as that. This is all BJP and Congress. Nothing is about the people who have died. In fact, two persons from Bengal, they were brutally, sort of trampled because of that kind of stuff. But I think this was absolutely the responsibility of the state and the center in that particular government, who actually have killed, murdered these devotees. And now they have got this. I mean, come on. Have you even thought about whether these people have got the compensation properly? How could they bring their dead bodies to their respective homes? Nothing about the rescues. It's almost, looking like a dead, barren land, this particular Kumbh. And you are now exulting in this kind of nonsense? I mean, come on. On the other hand, even the Manipur is still burning. No, nobody knows what is happening in Manipur. And we are all debating this. Come on.
Yeah,
if this is something wrong that the Congress party has made the clarification, as simple as that.
Professor Mondal, till compensation is given to the family members of those who are not with us, everything is okay. It's a free for all. जिसको जो मन में आए वो बोल दो. किसी को Chinese बोल दो, Indians को, Droupadi Murmu president को राष्ट्रपत्नी बोल दो. Like, things have been said in the past. Karan Verma, when you ask this question, you are accused of sidestepping real issues. This is not a real issue. Mohabbat ki dukaan stands exposed.
So, Pranesh, according to them, completely condescending behavior towards the highest constitutional office should not even be discussed and debated. And, Pranesh, I really want to discuss Sonia Gandhi's consistent track record in this. It's not discussed that much. On 13th April 2002, I'm going back 22 years. On the floor of the parliament, she said to Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who was the prime minister at that time, this man has lost his mental balance. Now, who talks like this? And leave aside BJP people, leave aside the prime minister and the president, how has she behaved with Sitaram Kesri when she had to be anointed as the party president, as the supremo? What really happened with Sitaram Kesri? How he was roughed up? What happened with PV Narasimha Rao when his mortal remains were not even allowed to enter the party office? And I'll take you back. Where does this entitlement come from? Pranesh, back in 1987, it was Rajiv Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi who for a holiday used INS Virat. Our warship was for them a vehicle for holidaying where they and their family friends enjoyed the New Year's. Can you imagine? When she says, I don't want to be prime minister, she anoints herself as the head of the NSC. I mean, this sense of entitlement that India is Indra, Indra is India, this runs in the family and they look down towards everyone. We saw Pratibha Mukherjee's daughter. She spoke about how Pranab Mukherjee, despite giving his entire life and dedicating it, how he was ill-treated. How Danish Ali and all these Congress people said, "Acha, aap RSS ki aur jhuke the, now you've got a memorial of your own." How Manmohan Singh ji, when he expired, Rahul Gandhi went for a holiday. So time and again they've treated their people, whether it's Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, whether it is Narasimha Rao, they have not treated anyone well. Nothing is over the parivar for them. And they believe that they own this country. They don't believe that they are sons and daughters of this country. They believe they own it. This is theirs. You remember Priyanka Vadra, she did not vacate her house even when SPG security was taken away from her. For 9 months she did not leave Lodi estate. She said, "Main aaram se niklungi." Who speaks this language? This comes from a deep-seated sense of mastery, not even entitlement. They believe they own us. And that is what showed up today.
Karan, you are getting it wrong. The Gandhi family used the warship, you know why? Because ordinary cruise is boring. Karan, Verma, come on. Ordinary cruise is boring. Dr. Aman, ordinary cruise ships are for ordinary people. But they are the Gandhis. They will use a warship to go on a vacation. रवि श्रीवास्तव जी, ये भाषा राहुल गांधी बोलते हैं कि मोहब्बत की दुकान हूं मैं, एक बार जाके सर सुन तो लीजिए रवि श्रीवास्तव, वो बोलते हैं मोहब्बत की दुकान हूं, ऐसे बोलना चाहिए, मर्यादा, civility, all of that. So what is this boring president speech? I can understand political differences. I can understand, sir, the speech that the president reads, ये पहली बार हुआ है क्या सरकार ने दिया है? पहली बार हुआ है जब कांग्रेस की सरकार थी, when the UPA was in power. Mr. Ravi Srivastava, tell me something, sir. Were the speeches read by then? No, 1 minute, sir. Were the speeches read by presidents then? Were they not given by the government? How can you say something, an utterance by the president is boring?
What action has been taken against him? Can you tell me?
Against whom?
Against Pranesh Roy. What he called Danish Ali in the floor of the parliament. You recall that word? I cannot use those words. That is condemned. Because I am bound by the constitution of this country.
Sir, and did anyone say... 1 minute. 1 minute. मैं बता देता हूं, sir. अभी बता देता हूं. Let's expose... 1 minute, sir. This whataboutery won't work here. When you talk about Ramesh Biduri, I will not say what Dr. Raman said when I asked him a direct question. That Pranesh, why are you making a big deal of it? Because it is a big deal. Ramesh Biduri does not deserve a ticket. He deserves condemnation. Censuring him is not enough. A message needs to go out. Will you say the same thing about Sonia Gandhi? You won't, because you think Sonia Gandhi is entitled to say these things because her surname has a Gandhi in it. Ravi Srivastava,
this is incorrect.
Will you dare to condemn Rahul Gandhi for his disparaging behavior? No, when he was filming the vice president being mocked, will you do it? You will not do it, sir, because you see, I'll tell you, sir, darbar hai, darbar mein all seats are taken. जो लोग बाहर खड़े हैं, वो यही बोलेंगे. The atmosphere outside is boring. They have to get into it. Get into this club.
Last 34 years, which Gandhi has a...
No, answer my question. Answer my question. If you have the courage...
Which Gandhi has become a prime minister in last 34 years? Tell me the name. What story you are making? Sir, Shahi family, royal family, entitlement, privileged party. What is all this nonsense?
Sir, if the Gandhis are not privileged, would any member, sir, any Congress worker... would they have gotten away like Rahul Gandhi did when he said that, look, if you ask me, I think this ordinance should be torn and thrown in the bin? आप बताइए क्या एक्शन हुआ राहुल गांधी पे? Is he bigger than the government? Was he bigger than former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh? It tells you about the man and his mindset. It just tells you about the man and his mindset.
What is new in it?
What is new? Nothing new. I am not surprised. Sir, मैं तो जानता हूं. This is the interesting behavior. What I am doing is boring. Asking the same questions.
No, you are not boring. You are only trying to play an agenda.
What is the agenda, sir? Tell me. Acha, ek baat. Okay. Let's get it right. Radhika Cheda, Professor Jyotsna, Dr. Raman, Professor Mondal, Karan, Ravi Srivastava is suggesting, I called up Sonia Gandhi. I said, Madam Gandhi, today when you come out after the president's address, you have to say this so that I can, get to do a show. Ye agenda hai. I told her to say these things. What is the agenda?
Agenda is this, to translate the English into Hindi and make a story.
But translate kijiye na, sir. Sir, if you translate absurdity into any language, it will still be absurdity. Ravi Srivastava, kya bol rahe sir aap?
Very well. I said she has done full respect. She has said a poor thing. Poor thing, she was tired.
Poor thing, poor thing.
A story.
Yeah.
The same story, which was a repetition of 2024.
Yeah.
Nothing new was there.
Which is why emergency was The reason, now sir, tell me, Dr. Raman, the reason Indira Gandhi imposed emergency because democracy was boring. People were tired of elected governments. She said, let's impose emergency. This is interesting.
Mrs. Gandhi, the Congress party has apologized, including Dr. Manmohan Singh. Various people have apologized for the emergency. They have apologized for what happened during the anti-Sikh riots. They have apologized for a lot of the mistakes of their era. Now, my point is, I haven't heard of too many apologies for certain other incidents which have happened. I'm not going to get into that. But let's go back to this story that came up about they took a holiday on a aircraft carrier. That was debunked by the then Chief of Naval Staff, who said very clearly it was an official visit. So I think that the point.
Oh no!
Is
so
really,
you're saying this was an official visit?
It was
not a holiday.
It was not a holiday. It was an official visit. It was debunked by no less than the then Chief of Naval Staff.
Yeah.
Subsequently, but anyway, never mind. The bottom line is to keep on repeating a lie until it's.
Poor thing. Never mind, Karan. Poor thing.
Never
Dr.
mind.
Raman is a
never
reasonable
mind.
man.
After all, this is now basically theatre. So we keep on saying something until it sort of registers in people's minds as the truth. Never mind.
Never mind. It's okay. Poor thing. Never mind. Ravi Srivastava. Never mind. ये चल क्या रहा है करण?
नहीं, मैं इनको बता दूं जरा, ये पहली बार नहीं किया था जब इन्होंने हॉलिडे किया था 1987 में, ये भी जनरेशंस में रन करता है. 1960 में INS Trishul was sent by Pandit Nehru when Edwina Mountbatten had expired. For her burial, he had sent flowers through it in 1960. This has again been confirmed by the defense secretary at that time, who was removed. And you know who that defense secretary was, by the way? He was father-in-law of Dr. Subramaniam Swamy. So this has also been confirmed in his own memoir, and it's a fact where receipts are also shared how much of expenditure was incurred there. तो इनके तो भाई हमेशा से ये रहा है.
But never mind.
1960 में, 1984 में. But Pranesh, I want to make one bigger point. The woman that they are targeting, the president of this country, Droupadi Murmu ji, one must know what a story of resilience this woman is. For them to say poor thing, boring, ये कोई मसाला फिल्म नहीं चल रही है. But this is a story of her grit and resilience. She is the first woman, Pranesh, who completed higher education from her village. She is a domestic abuse survivor who went on to carve a path for herself. Despite multiple tragedies in her life, she did not stop. She became the first woman governor of Jharkhand. She became the best MLA. When she became an MLA in the BJD and BJP coalition, then she became a governor, and today she is the president. This is a story that we must, admire and revere, rather than calling it boring. I mean, this is shameful.
You're making the same mistake. Coming up the ranks through hard work is boring. It should be like the Rahul Gandhi way. General Secretary, Member of the Parliament, President, it still holds the remote control. Ravi Srivastava, that is interesting.
Again, story making. The speech was boring, not the lady. You are again making a narrative. The speech was boring, it's not a lady. You are making justifications, making stories, and giving all into history from 2019.
I am glad that you are conceding. You are conceding
the speech was boring. The speech was a repetition of the last year, 2024. Nothing new.
So you will call her a poor lady?
No, I did not call.
President is a poor lady because she did not.
So many things.
Yeah, her speech did not impress the Gandhis.
In English, it is like that, sir.
Miss Khera, you will have to, work harder, because if your arguments don't make sense, poor lady, Radhika is tired.
Pranesh, I have 4 very important points to make. Let's start with the point, the time when the ordinance was torn apart by Rahul Gandhi. I was right there. I was witness to that whole situation. And trust me, everyone in the Congress party, right from Ajay Makar, who was sharing stage with him, were in a state of in deep shock, and they did not know how to react, and no one could react because he was the Shahzada, the owner of the party, and anyone who would have reacted would have lost his job and lost everything. Having said that, now when we are talking about Sonia Gandhi and her deep-seated elitism, and that has been exposed again. She has enjoyed, when you talk about no one has from the Gandhi family been the prime minister or led the country, well, Sonia Gandhi has enjoyed unquestionable power without holding a constitutional post. She was running the government and everybody knows that. When we talk about, like I said, this is not the first time. Sonia Gandhi not only needs to apologize for what she said, but she also has to tell the nation why there has been a pattern of the Gandhi's family, demeaning Dalits, tribals, as well as constitutional heads. If you remember, in 1985, on March 3rd, Rajiv Gandhi, the former Prime Minister of India, gave an interview to Nav Bharat Times in which he said, categorically, clearly, he said that Dalits are fools. I will repeat again. Rajiv Gandhi said Dalits are fools, and it is on record in Nav Bharat Times on March 3rd, 1985. This is the mindset of the Gandhi family. This is what they think of Dalits. This is what they think of tribals, which is why his son today, who is the leader of opposition, finds the speech boring. And I have to point this out as well. The speech today was one of the shortest that we have seen of many speeches that have happened before the budget has been presented. And if you go on, the presidents at the time of the
Radhika Khera, let's get it straight. You know why Rahul Gandhi did not go for the Republic Day celebrations? It's the same boring stuff. Happens every year. It was boring, which is why Rahul said, please, pardon me, I'm out of this. The reason the Congress party is at 99 is because it is boring to be on the other side. They've been on the other side for so long. Now let them, enjoy what it feels to be in the opposition. This is Rahul's worldview. This is how he thinks. What's wrong in it? Professor Mondal, it's okay. Today, this comment is, about Droupadi Murmu. You are defending this mindset. कल ये ममता जी के बारे में भी यही बोलेंगे.
You and BJP are shedding your crocodile tears. But the maximum number of tribals are living in Manipur and the northeastern part, and look at how they are suffering. Stop this nonsense, for God's sake. You talk about calling names of people. How many times you have insulted Mamta Di? King Jom, she is Mumtaz Begum, and Didi, oh Didi, by the Prime Minister himself. And we need to learn political semantics from BJP and
Sir, 1 minute. Do your political semantics, keep the president out of it. This is the president of India we are talking about. 1 minute. Yes. This is the president of India we are talking about, Professor Mondal. If you can't differentiate between politicians and the president, then God help you. Poor thing. Poor thing, poor man. Professor Mondal, poor man. I think you are tired.
Chief Minister of this country.
Is there no difference, Professor Jyotsna? Is there no difference between politicians and the president?
As I said earlier, they don't understand the constitution. That's a fact. And again, a party which claims to be the champion of women's rights here shows us the biggest hypocrisy. Women empowerment hypocrisy. They can't even respect a woman in the highest constitutional position. And again, I'll tell you one more thing. We are just talking and debating about Rahul Gandhi's boring speech remark. I think we all need to understand one thing. Anything or anyone who talks about India's economic resilience, India's economic growth, India's national security is always boring thing for them, because Congress is anti-developmental party. That's it. There is no doubt about it. I'll tell you why. They are always indulged in insulting India's growth, indulged in insulting India across the world. Wherever Rahul Gandhi has gone in the last 1 year, he has always, whether it was US, whether it was UK, he has insulted India on a global platform. He has done it. So it's I think I would say it's there. I don't want to call it as they do call genes hai, ye hai, wo hai. I don't want to call it that way, but they are used to it. It's a habit, we have habitual offenders, you know it, right? So probably I think we can call them the same. Now here they are frustrated by the speech. They are not happy with how India is growing today, with how India is developing today, and that's the reason they
that's
find
okay.
the Honorable
President
talking
they may not be happy, ma'am.
Not interesting for them.
No, I understand the point, but you see, if someone is not happy, look, I disagree with Dr. Raman sometimes, with Ravi Srivastava, does not mean I insult them. I say, things which are not right. Professor Mondal and I have had fights on many debates, but it ends there. It is still civil, it is heated, but I have never, said things like poor guy, poor thing, etc., etc. Look what Priyanka Gandhi is saying. This news just coming in. कोई कहता है मेरा अपमान कर दिया, कोई कहता है उसका अपमान कर दिया. ये फिजूल की बातें. हुआ तो हुआ. The President's house issues a statement. They say the comments are unfortunate, and look how Priyanka Gandhi is saying, कोई कहता है मेरा अपमान कर दिया, कोई कहता है उसका अपमान कर दिया. कोई कौन है? There is only one family in this country. It is the Gandhi family that is without any G for grace. Lacks grace, Dr. Raman. You must take a stand against it.
We must take a stand. And I really, appreciate this TDP person's dialogue here. After all, her leader is the one who called Prime Minister Modi a dictator and likened him to a terrorist who was destroying democracy. She's got guts to come on the show and talk about this. I mean, what are we talking about today for the fruits of power and office?
Dr. Raman, like I said, is there no difference between politicians and the president?
You are talking about people speaking. Is there no difference? So you're saying the Prime Minister of this country does not need to be respected?
No, but in elections, but all parties have to take the blame. They've lowered the discourse. It happens in every election. Not the best thing to do, but it happens. Now, no one can do grandstanding on it because, one is more guilty than the other. Karan?
Pranesh, there's a difference between political rhetoric and what this family has been doing. Just some time back, Rahul Gandhi pushed an elderly MP, Sarangi ji, when he entered the parliament. You remember those scenes? That sense of arrogance, that sense of entitlement that we can abuse, push around, tear ordinances, change laws, overturn Supreme Courts, dismiss state governments. This speaks of this entitlement. This is not some ordinary rhetoric we are talking about. Whether it's moves, whether it's acts of violence, it shows up in their demeanor time and again. And if they find it boring, they should look for alternate careers. Simple. Because policy making isn't the most interesting masala film happening here.
Parliament is boring. Let's do Sadak Pe Faisla. That is interesting. Let's block roads, do Sadak Pe Faisla. Let's go out, take help of the regime change ecosystem and, fight against our own people. Go after the EVMs, the Chief Election Commissioner. That is interesting, Karan. You have to get it right. Viewers, let's move on.